you this evening? Are you with me? Are we all together? Yes.
Yeah, we're together.
Cool. What's your actual name?
Killian.
Gillian.
No.
A boy with a girl's name? Never heard of it. Gillian. Yeah, is that right? No, not even Gillian. Go on.
Killian.
Killian.
Kill Ian.
Right.
He wants to kill
Right.
Ian.
There you go, G.
We're gonna kill Ian.
Killian. That ain't a bad shout, actually. So, is that spelled with a K or a C?
No, with a C.
With a C. Killian. Oh, right. Stop it now. Stop it now. Green pies it is then. Oh dear.
Why am I not doing comms with you before?
Right. Right, are we all okay now? That was a good start, wasn't it? Well, pleased to meet you.
Gee, who is this Senna kid? He's going around taking all your records.
We're
Sound the mood a little bit.
we're same format as normal, aren't we? 10-minute practice, sprint race, reverse grid, qualifying, then 40-minute feature with a pit stop. Yeah. Cool.
This is my first time doing Tier 1 Theos, so...
That's right. Welcome to the best action on the channel.
I don't know, I like my Tier 2 drivers.
Yeah, well, it's like Tier 2, but better.
At least there's more Tier 2 drivers.
Yep.
Oops. Sorry. Just looking at something.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. If you just joined us, welcome along to the Silent Energy Clio Cup, Silent X Energy Clio Cup here at Laguna Seca. I am Kelly Davis, and I'm your co-commentator this evening. And with me this evening, for the first time, us commentating together is Green Pies. Good evening, my friend.
Good evening,
How are
Kelly.
you? How are you? All right?
I'm good. How are you doing? Have you figured out how to say my name yet?
No, not particularly. Killian.
I'm just gonna stick with Green Pies.
Killian, yes.
Yeah, it's Killian.
That's it. Like the actor, Cillian Murphy, is it?
Yeah, Cillian Murphy, the one that plays the guy in Peaky Blinders.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it?
Yeah.
There you go, like that. Well, we'll, as all the other commentators call you Green Pies, I might just call you Green. How about that?
I love a good nickname.
Excellent.
I'll just call you Kel.
Yeah, mate. Call me anything you like. Most people do. I usually answer to most things, so it's all good. So me and Green Pies here in the with the Clio Cup Tier 1 for this evening here at Laguna Seca. So looking forward to some great action, as we normally do get with the Clio Cups. We'll have a run through the format in just a few moments. All the usual suspects are here tonight, so as I said, looking forward to some cracking good racing this evening. Green Pies, your first time commentating the Tier 1s, yes?
Yeah, it's my first time commentating Tier 1s on the Clios, but I just commentated the Tier 2s, and there was some really good racing and really good dive bombs going into Turn 1, especially at the end.
Yeah, I saw that one actually. Yeah, you guys out there, if you missed it, go back on the stream and you can see it all over again. But don't do that now, of course. That's ridiculous. The best action is here and now in the Tier 1. So you know what the Clios are all about, Green. Then so you'll know that it's good action on these Clios. Have you followed the Clio racing before?
No, the first time I actually watched the Clio racing was whenever I was commentating on my first commentating.
Cool.
And that was, there was never any silence.
No. They never. It's all action is Clios for sure. Am I right in saying what do you normally drive? Formula One?
I drive the F1 2020. I'm currently leading the standings, but it's getting very close between myself and Jose. And I'm trying my foot in GT3s on Project Cars 2.
Oh yeah. How are you getting on with them?
Yeah, we'll go on to something else now.
Okay, fair enough.
Really
like that.
Doing the best on them.
yeah, sounding about as good as I am on touring cars by the sounds of it. Anyway, let's
else now.
Yeah. Right, so let's have a look, shall we? What's tonight all about? Tonight, well, just at the moment, they're on a free practice session at the moment. So this is it, guys, just getting their eye in a bit and doing some setup stuff and just trying out the track if they haven't had some practice or whatever. So we'll have about 10 minutes free practice. Then we'll do the sprint race, which is a reverse grid in championship order, which no doubt we'll have information on when we get closer to time. And then a bit later on, we'll have another qualifying session and the feature race a bit later on this evening with a mandatory pit stop. So loads and loads to look forward to this evening. As I said, all the usual suspects. So you've got we're on board with Dan at the moment, Unorthodox. He's had his moments in this championship. He's ex Tier 2 runner-up. Who else is in the mix on this one? Well, the house rocker in this one, Delore, Vigla, Team Camber, so I've been told. Kurt V, who just won the Tier 2 racing, they're all mates together. Those all from Belgium, and Team Camber, they're going under the name. So I learnt on Sunday night with touring cars. Who else we got in here? There's our very own Andy, who's was a commentator with Green Pies just previously in the Tier 2. He's out on track this evening. You can see we're on board with him at the moment, and he's listening to us, obviously. A flash of the lights. Who else we got in here? The only G, of course, the other, all the Motive boys here. So the only G in here as well. As Andy goes a bit wide on the last corner there. So Laguna Seca, Green Pies, is it a track you like, dislike? What are your feelings on Laguna Seca?
I've not done much racing here, but I love watching racing here, especially whenever they come down the corkscrew. It's so fascinating.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Cars. They just put so much trust in themselves.
Absolutely, and that is the kind of standout feature of this track is the corkscrew, kind of world famous corkscrew here at Laguna Seca. It's you'll see all on the hoardings as you see at the moment. It says Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca. That's actually incorrect now. The Project Cars 2 game is now nearly 4 or 5 years old, so that's actually incorrect, 'cause it's now WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca. So obviously,
when did they change that?
Not that long ago. Obviously, as I said, when this game's 2017. So in the last few years, I only realised that this evening when I was doing a little bit of extra research on Laguna Seca. But as I said, it's been changed to WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca, which is in California, of course, in the United States. 2.2 miles, 180 feet or 55 metre elevation change. It's an FIA Grade 2 track, and is, as I said, the distinctive part of it is the corkscrew, which is probably about 2/3 the way through the laps. We see Smoky Devil pointing in the wrong direction. He'll probably find that if he points it around the other way, it goes really a lot better when it's pointing in that direction. So Smoky with an early spin, but that's what practice is about, isn't it, Green Pies?
Yeah, it's to see where you're going wrong and where you need to do better, and obviously he needs to work on that very final sector.
Absolutely. I mean, and it's easy to just off track, as you can see. It's all kind of desert-like, sandy dirt kind of, sections around the course. So when you go wide here, it really does hamper you. You know, it's you go wide here and get out on that dirt, and you're in big trouble. So track limits are going to be important to the case of, as I said, if you get off the track, then you're in real trouble. So track limits are going to be vital.
We saw quite a few drivers going off trying to make sandcastles here.
Absolutely, and no real good ones, to be fair.
No, I can't say they were the best sandcastles I've seen, but I mean, good on them for trying at least.
Absolutely, and if you're gonna, if you're going to be rubbish, then build a sandcastle. You know, that's. I think there's a life motto there somewhere, don't you think? But
I'm sure you can find something in that to be inspirational.
Yeah, something inspirational. I don't really know where. It sounds like a whole load of rubbish to me, but there you go. So we've only got a minute or so left in this session for these guys. As I said, they're only getting their eye, and it's only a practice session. So it's as I say, just them getting their themselves sorted, really. So in the chat this evening on YouTube, please do give us a hello, say hello to myself or to Green Pies. Tell us what you're up to, what you're thinking, so on and so forth. We love to see your comments on the stream, so we can have got something further to talk about when racing gets dull. But normally with Clios, racing doesn't get dull. So but please do drop a comment in the chat, because we do love to hear from you. Love to know that you're out there and you're listening and that you're enjoying the racing. So please do that. So
one thing we can talk about right now is
mate.
the fact that I could do with the Sun X energy drink right now.
Oh yeah, well done. Yeah, you're getting the hang of this commentating thing, especially on the corporate, aren't you?
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
Make the sponsors happy.
Yes, keep the sponsors happy. Although Silent X Energy haven't sent me any freebies for yet. I don't know if anybody's had any. I think Andy's tried some of it, or so he keeps saying. I don't know if he's just telling lies for the whole corporate thing, or if he's actually tried it. But Silent X Energy, they're our sponsors this evening. It's an energy drink which is, I believe, plant-based, Green Pies.
I believe it is plant-based too.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't. I haven't sampled any. If Silent X Energy, anybody's listening from there, and we're doing such a great job of plugging your product, you just want to send me a couple of samples, that's great. So yeah, absolutely, we'll all have some. We'll give it a try. We could have could be here next week drinking Silent X Energy while watching it. Now that'd be cool, wouldn't it?
That would be pretty epic.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're done with practice. So John Boy was your quickest guy with a 1:34.6. What sort of lap times were they doing in Tier 2, Green Pies? Do you remember?
I can't remember the qualifying lap time, but during the race I saw a few 1:35s and 1:36s. So
yeah,
not too far off these guys in their practice session.
No, not at all. And to be fair, a lot of the Tier 2 guys are, as equally as quick as the Tier 1 guys. Do you know what I mean? There's not a huge drop off between tiers, really. Do you know what I mean? So
not everyone can be in Tier 1, sadly.
No, this is it, and you have to earn your stripes and get in there. Really, you can't just rock up and come to Tier 1. So as we set off, Green Pies, this should be a sprint race with a rolling start, and so we're gonna have. Sorry,
I believe they all take off and then they form up in their positions that they're meant to be in.
I believe so, although the graphic that we've got along the bottom, of course that's a standard graphic, isn't it? So yeah, I don't have the order at the moment, so we'll have to just presume
that get that for you, I believe.
Can you? That'd be fantastic.
I believe I can.
Good man. Come on, I like having Green Pies around. He's you can come again, my friend.
Never mind, no I can't. Oh wait, grid order? Yes, I can.
There we go.
So we'll be starting off with Smoky Devil in first place, followed by I'm terrible at names. I shouldn't be doing this.
Give me the first letter.
VLI.
Vigla.
Yeah, Vigla.
Yeah, mind you, to be fair, Green Pies, I've probably been pronouncing that wrong for about the last 6 months. But Vigla, he'll line up second, yeah.
And then in third place we've got WSRCJ 48.
Yeah.
Then in fourth place, lining up behind him, is Nick the Villa.
Nick the Villa, yeah.
Then in fifth place we've got our very own commentator Andy.
Yeah.
And in sixth place we've got Melted Dazzler.
Yep.
And then the Horace Rocker.
The House Rocker. The Horace Rocker is the way we've been pronouncing it, but it's actually Dutch, and it's translated as the House Rocker.
Oh right, okay. And then in number 8 we've got your probably favourite driver, Dan, Unorthodox.
Yep. Unorthodox, yeah.
Then in 9th place we've got another Belgian boy, we've got Delora.
Delora, yeah. That's the brother of Vigla.
Ah, right, okay. And then in 10th place, we've got Lucy McShooty.
Yeah.
I love that name. And
he's brilliant,
in 11th place, we've got John Boy.
Yeah.
And in 12th place, we've got the league owner and the legend, the one, the only, G.
The one and only G. There you go. So, as it happens, it's all come up on our screen. So they must have got themselves in order already. So they'll roll round, get themselves into formation for a rolling start. So it'll be Smoky Devil that will lead us away. Vigla in second. WSR CJ, Nick the Villa, Andy, Melted Dazzler, Delore, Unorthodox. The House Rocker, Unorthodox, Delore, Lucy McShooty, John Boy, and the only G is the way they line up. Smoky Devil becomes the safety car, as it were. We don't have a safety car, but if we did, it would be Smoky Devil, and he will lead them away as he comes up the hill towards the Andy. Was that Andy on the grass? No, on the grass, on the dirt already. So he's just testing it out, obviously. And Melted Dazzler. Melted Dazzler just testing the limits as well. Some of these guys are going to drop it before they even get to the start. So we need to be on board. Here we go. Smoky Devils. They just come down through the corkscrew on this formation lap, and just a couple of corners. Left.
Slow up about now.
Yeah, this is the Ray Hall Straight. This piece here, just before the corner.
You know more about this track than I do.
Yeah, well, it's called Wikipedia, and it's on next to me. So, yeah. So here we go.
Well,
Smoky Devil can drop the hammer whenever he likes. He comes out of the last corner. He's still reasonably slow. Is he going? Yeah, I think he's gone. It's hard to tell with a Clio. He doesn't accelerate extremely quickly. So we are away and racing. Now. We're away and racing. Smoky Devil in one, but he's got Vigla all over the back of him. Team Camber going round the outside. Can have a look round the outside. I doubt he'll make it stick there. Got WSR. Jay is in close company. He gives Vigla a bit of a tap. Nick the Villa in close company as well, but Smoky still leads them out as they come out and start rising up the hill for the first time here at Laguna Seca. And no real dramas from anyone, which is nice. But then we've got the corkscrew to come very, very shortly, so we'll see if there's any argy-bargy when we get there. But still, Smoky holding everyone off, and they are all lining up behind him as well as they again rise up the hill as 55 feet. Did I say elevation? Something like that. Quite an elevation as they go up the hill.
Something meters.
Something like that, wasn't it? Yeah, I'll have to go back to Wikipedia. So I'll have to go back to Wikipedia for that a bit later on, I think. As they come up, coming up to the corkscrew for the first time. So Smoky's still there, but everyone lining up.
Going on the outside around the corkscrew, he's going to try it.
He is going to try it.
Line going on the second part.
He's keen.
He's got it done lovely.
Yeah, got it done with no real argy-bargy. Who's he fighting with there?
Right back because very wide.
Yeah, gets a bit of a wiggle on, and then Dan's getting into this party as well. He's in the green liveried Clio. He's getting in on this party as well, but still Smoky out in front. Pulled a second on Nick the Villa, who's moved up into second place from Vigla now, but they're all still in close company. Clio's Clio's green pies are they just stay so close to each other all the time. They are so evenly matched, these guys, and the slipstream is so strong with the Clios as well, that they do stay in very close company.
I just watched someone go very deep. Yeah,
the house rocker, that was
word mess ups tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. You'll get the angle. Oh, well, as they go. Oh, that was the house rocker was hit by Dan by looks of it. Just nudged by Dan. Dan led him back through, did he? No. But
no, he did.
Yeah, he did let him through. Normal Dan kind of tactics. Bit too nice for his own good half the time, but don't get me into that. So Team Prolapse is our Dan. So
as we're just watching John Boy's going to try and go up the inside. Oh no, he just pulls in behind him.
Yes, indeed. John Boy gone backwards a little bit. He's fighting for the championship with the only G. That was a move, wasn't it, by Jay? Just kind of drove right the way round. Who was that? No, it wasn't Melted Dazzle, was it? It was Vigla. Vigla just drove right round him. So Vigla's going backwards a little bit, isn't he?
He must have had a slowdown or something, because it literally looks like he just drove past him. That just does not happen in the Clios. These cars are like wheelchairs.
Absolutely. Have you driven them at all?
I tried driving one of them, and they're definitely front-wheel drive. I can tell you that.
Yeah. Oh, they're a handful, aren't they? Like you wouldn't believe. They are. Anybody who's watching who has the game, hasn't tried them, I urge you to go and have a go. But they are an absolute handful. They aren't what you think they are at all. While we've been chatting green pies, Andy has got himself up into second place now. So some of the quicker guys coming towards the front now. So Andy, I think, will find he'll close up on the back of Smokey reasonably quickly, as he's moved all the way through the pack and is now at the sharp end. Where the other quick boys see.
Oh, as two cars bump into each other.
Yeah,
push each other wide.
Bit of door handles there, wasn't it? Yeah, pushing and shoving. But funnily enough, who was that?
Very wide.
Yeah, that was Vigla again, wasn't it? Went halfway on the green car. Melted Dazzler. Right. You'll notice that however much they bump and shove each other around, green pies, that the mirrors never come off.
Close.
Yeah, the mirrors.
Very close to each other.
The mirrors never ever come off. They never break the mirrors. However hard you hit the car, you've usually still got the mirrors on it, because they have got project cars have built on indestructible mirrors, which is really quite a feat of engineering, isn't it?
That is quite a feat of engineering.
It is, yeah, it is. So who's that? That's the house rocker, and he's on the back of Melted Dazzler at the moment, and in close company, as is everybody, really. Still very close company, and we're 4 laps in. Smokey's still keeping a gap, 2.5 in front of Andy.
The house rocker's trying to go up the inside there of Melted Dazzler, but it just does not work, and that's going to give John Boy a great run coming through that last corner. He's going to try and do a dive up the inside on this first corner. We saw quite a few of them in the tier 2s, so if tier 2s can do it, tier 1s should be able to do it, as a few of those cones.
There's quite a lot of lines around this. It's the Andretti hairpin there, turn 1. There is multiple lines, because it's a double apex kind of setup there, so you can kind of go tight and deep, or out wide and come back in tight and stuff like that. There is multiple lines into that corner, and it is a good overtaking opportunity.
Someone's trying to take Dan on the outside.
Yeah,
I don't think that's going to work, mate.
No, I don't. No, who's that then? That was Vigla, the other green. Yeah, Vigla, I think it was. Yeah, he's the other green Clio. Yeah. So he's not having a great race. He started towards the front and he's going backwards. Vigla, Team Camber, so we understand it. I'm sure Kurt would tell me about that. Loads of stuff being said in the comments, and I haven't had a chance to have a look at them green pies, to be fair.
Neither have I, as we just watched the only G do a lovely move up the inside there of Melted Dazzler, as he's trying to make his way up the field from starting in last place. You just don't get a chance to read the comments.
No, and certainly not with Clios, because it's
I think we have time now.
I'm just having a look through them, some of them, Team Prolapse asking you, green pies, how much head start are you going to give the rest of the grid on F1 this Friday?
I I can't really give anyone a head start because Jose is only 27 points behind me now. So if I just have one bad race and Jose is a good race, that's way too close for me. So I've got to keep winning.
Absolutely. I don't follow it, I must admit. It's on the wrong night for me, and I don't have the game, to be honest. So although I am a Formula 1 fan, I don't have the 2020 game at the moment. So I don't have an opportunity to. Although I could watch it on the stream, couldn't I? You know, but
you've got no excuses. Anyone can just log in, make sure they subscribe to Motor Racing on YouTube, and just watch the streams.
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime you want, just go on to the
Motive. Jay is taking an overtake on the inside on the only G there, and I think he just made it stick.
Yeah, a G. I saw sort of brake lights from G there, halfway up the straight. I wonder if he's dropped right off the back there a bit. I wonder if he had a slow down there, Green Boys. You know,
he must have had a slow down.
Yeah.
Jay is on a roll here, trying to get up the inside of John Boy, but John Boy has been defending really well, especially from the only G there.
Yeah. Andy has brought the gap down to the lead a little bit. He's within 8/10 or so of Smokey now. Smokey driving a good race. You've got Andy coming up behind him. Andy's definitely no slouch, knows what he's doing in these Clios, so he's going to be right on the back of Smokey any time. Well, he is right on the back of him now.
I really go up the inside, try and do a dive.
Look at this.
See quite a few of them, so he knows that they can work.
Yeah. Let's see if he has a crack at it. Bit too far back that time, isn't he?
Yeah, too far back, and Smokey just defended too well there.
Yeah. So, although he goes a little bit deep, puts a wheel on the dirt there to Smokey, but no real harm done. So Andy keeping him very honest. And then you go back, we got, who's this? Dan, of course, in 5th place at the moment. So Nick de Villa is playing mobile chicane. He's playing the Yarno Trulli game at the moment, and being a mobile chicane to the rest of the pack, really. So you've got Smokey's in 1st, Andy in 2nd. You've got Nick de Villa in 3rd, and just about everybody else from there back down to about the only G or Melted Dazza in 3rd place, really. So some hot racing behind, but Andy's got a sniff of this now. He's on a mission, isn't he, Green Pies?
Yeah, we've not watched much of these two because they've just been so far out in front, but sadly not close to each other. But now that they're close to each other, this is some great battle. Andy's going to want to get past them as quickly as possible.
Yes, absolutely. He's going to want to try and maximise as much points as possible. And I mean, these guys have gapped Nick de Villa by kind of 3 seconds or nearly 4 seconds. They've gapped him by, so they've got a nice healthy lead out front. 13 minutes of this race still to go. This is a sprint race, so there's no pit stops.
I think Andy's going to get him on the inside.
Yeah. He's definitely close, isn't he, this time? Sniffing down the inside, trying to keep his nose on the inside as they come down into the Andretti hairpin. And I think Andy's going to get this one done, you know. And,
that was lovely, that was.
Yeah, that's set up all the way from the start-finish line. Smokey had really no defence from that, although Smokey now having a look, see if he can come back at Andy. Needs to just stay with him and see if he can come back at him. But I've got a feeling that Andy's just going to take off a little bit now and break away a bit. These Clios, as I said before, they're such an odd little car, being that once you kind of break the slipstream, then you can pull away, but if someone's in your slip, you just can't seem to break away from them quite that easily. You know, that's why we've got such tight racing with these Clios, is they follow so incredibly well and benefit from the slipstream so incredibly well, that it makes for close racing, which is exactly what we want, isn't it?
That is exactly what we want. I wish we had that in all the series, especially the Formula Renault. But Clios are just like next level on close racing.
Yeah, they certainly are, and I say they're, you know, you've tried them, and I've run a couple of races. I've done a couple of Tier 2 races, and as I said, if you think you can drive, come and race these things, because they're crazy difficult. The rear end, the rear tyres don't ever get warm. They just stay.
No, the rear tyres, like, you'd be better off just driving without the rear tyres.
Yeah, you'd probably get on better. The rear tyres just never ever warm up However many laps you do,
more grip as well.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, probably. So, as I say, they're incredibly tricky to drive. The touring cars are tricky, but these are trickier again, in my opinion. So it's we take our hat off to all these drivers. They're you've got to stay on it. You've got to stay close to the guy in front. Otherwise, as I said, you're nowhere.
Yeah, one man who's absolutely stolen the show, though, is Andy. He started in 5th place, I believe, and he's just taken first and is running with it now.
Yeah, he's starting to break away a little bit from Smokey now. Always, he has a bit of a wiggle there as he gets the back end just on the dirt a little bit, and just got a little bit squirrely out of that corner. And he's actually, with his split time, he's actually a bit slower than he has been. But he's gapping Smokey now. He's pulling a second away from Smokey. The rest of the pack are starting to catch Smokey a little bit now. Nick de Villa and all the rest of the pack are looking quite ominous. Look at these lot. Look out. Nick de Villa,
very close racing.
Yes, Nick de Villa under huge pressure from Lutey McShooty, who's in there as well. John Boy really come up through the field. The only G just in close contact behind. John Boy and the only G, the two guys at the head of the standings at the moment. So both these guys
very close.
Yeah, look at that. Look, he's trying to squeeze himself, trying to open himself a gap between
John
the two.
Just done
he's going to get it done. Is he going to hold on to it?
On the straight? Will he do the switchback? Will the switchback work here? No, he's just going
to go. Yeah, he's going to try and go all the way around the outside. He ain't going to make that stick, but he did it on the straight, didn't he? Came right between the two. That was inventive racing from John Boy for sure. Oh, and he's dropped it. Oh no, and he's going to take. Oh, and he just how did he manage to miss everybody else? Ah, poor old John Boy. He put on an epic move and then just dropped it. It's so easy to do. A driver of John Boy's calibre, has just it just happens so easily. Green Boys.
Yeah. That overtake reminded me of the overtake I believe Van Dorn did in the Formula E race this year, where he went up the inside of one driver and then the outside of another driver in the same straight.
Yeah, I don't follow Formula E. I've still got a thing about electric cars, and it just ain't right. Do you know what I mean? Who's that? Is that Smokey Devil going slowly? I think that was Smokey. He must have had an incident. Must have had a moment there in the corkscrew, Green Pies, don't you think?
Yeah, he's gone from 2nd place all the way down to 7th. Whoa, that is not what he wants. He's just thrown away a podium now, because I don't think there's any possibility in 8 minutes and 30 seconds for him to get through this field of fantastic close racing drivers.
Yeah, no, that's kind of ruined his race a little bit, but that's the fun and games of it. You've got to stay on it, got to stay concentrated and focused all the way through. So Lutey was shooting.
Really blowing my mind. The only G is up on a podium from last place.
Yeah, and that's why he's leading the the championship.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah. And that's the only G. Just in case you aren't aware of the legend that is 32 records on Project Cars. I think he holds something like that. Something
more
along
than
those.
I can count on my two hands.
Yeah, more records. More records than I've got by about 32, I think.
About that for me too.
He's very quick boy, so as I said, to build a championship you need to be. So he's up into 3rd place behind Lutey McShooty. These guys, Andy's still 4 seconds ahead. Of course, he gapped these guys with Smokey Devil early on in this race, so he's still holding on to that 4-second lead. Which is fluctuating between 3.5 seconds to 4 seconds, depending on where they are on track. But Andy's still in command of this sprint race for a minute. I'm sure the only G is going to be wanting to be second. He's going to want to do Lutey McShooty, isn't he?
Yeah, well, we all know how fast Andy is of a talker on those lap ones. He just needs to hope that he can be faster than the only G on track as well this race. Well, there's 6 minutes left, and if the only G can get past Lutey McShooty, he's going to be rolling up the back of him in no time, as he was 2 seconds faster than 3 seconds faster nearly than Andy that lap.
Yeah. Absolutely. So Andy just he's just falling off the pace a little bit, but he's probably just making sure he doesn't mess it up.
Tires. He could be saving tires. I've seen that a few times in a few of the races where the drivers in front, they slow down, they save their tires, and then whenever the driver behind who's been wasting their tires catches up, they just drive off into the sunset like a cowboy.
Absolutely, yeah, like a cowboy, yeah, absolutely, like a cowboy in a Clio.
We are in California, so
that's right.
A lot of cowboys driving around Clios these days.
Yeah, well, I don't know if it's cowboys that drive Clios, but there's a lot of Summit that drives Clios. Usually parked up in McDonald's car park next to the Honda Civics. But
the Honda G is pushing Lucy.
Yeah, look, literally so close to him. As they come up to the corkscrew, and Luty's feeling the pressure, got all a bit squirrely under braking, but G couldn't capitalise on it just then. But certainly G putting Luty under extreme pressure, and just to use a Brundleism, you're either giving pressure or you're taking it in motor racing, and certainly G's giving out the pressure to Luty right at the moment. Lights ablaze, he wants that second place.
He very much does want the second place.
Yes.
Maybe even go for the first place.
I don't think he'll get it done now. Do you know what I mean? I think you're probably right. I think Andy's probably just backed off the pace a little bit, save his tyres, or just save his mindset, Green Pies, just to, just like ease off so I don't make a stupid mistake by pushing too hard, He's got this win in the bag, hasn't he, really, as long as he keeps a relative pace and he doesn't drop it, then he's got this done. But if he goes and drops it by a silly mistake, that's that win given away, isn't it? So
well, he's definitely got his pace back as he's back in the 135s with these guys.
Yeah. So I think Andy's just running his own race, and I think it's going to be a tall order for G to. I don't think it'll be a tall order to pass Luty. I think he's going to get him any time now. To be fair, he looks inside.
Luty has been holding him off very well, so you can't really complain with that.
No, Luty's doing a fantastic job.
Inside.
Yeah, he can't. Oh, look, they're both squirrely on the brakes. Luty on the brakes as late as he possibly dares. G right there, because G's trying to, just before the corkscrew, he's trying to tuck up the inside and get a run on the inside of him before he gets to the corkscrew. So Luty doing a fantastic job of holding back the only G, driving a great defensive race. Just behind these guys, Daniel's made it up into 4th place. Look, G's down the inside now. He's just keep it nailed. Yeah, he keep it nailed. He's going to have him down into the hairpin, isn't he? Luty can't come back across that, and G's got track position, and he's going to get it done for the corner, isn't he?
Unless can Luty go on the outside? No, he can't. Oh, but he's going to try to switch back, but it's just not enough.
Yeah, just ain't going to make it work.
Too equal on power.
Absolutely. So the only G up into 2nd place now, only 3 seconds off the lead. You can see Andy. Again, Andy's only got 3 minutes of this race left. So we've got 2 laps, really, haven't we?
Probably, yeah, around about 2 laps.
Yeah, we might go on to a 3rd, depending on how the time works out. Of course, Andy will be not wanting to go on to a 3rd. He'll be wanting to get this done and dusted in 2 laps. So we'll see how this pans out. I don't know if it's a little bit too much for G to catch Andy now, but
I mean, in racing, it's not over until it's over.
Yes, indeed, you're quite right. I do think the fat lady's warming up, though. To be fair, she's getting her vocal cords going, and just looking in the chat, Prolapse, happy birthday to Kurt's dad for tomorrow. Happy birthday, Kurt's dad. I don't know Kurt's dad, but happy birthday for him for tomorrow.
Happy birthday for motor racing.
Yeah, there's a couple of birthdays coming up. Mine's at the weekend, so yeah, a couple of birthdays coming up. Good month.
Watching some racing going on here for 6th place, I believe it is, between these 3 drivers.
Absolutely, we got in here Smoky Devil, the House Rocker, and Melted Dazzer, all trying to fight over that 6th place. So still a bit of racing to do as we're into the last just under 2 minutes now.
As
Yes, indeed.
is going to try and do the house rocker up the inside, but I don't know if it's going to work. These camera angles are quite deceiving, but no, he lets him go through.
Yeah, you're quite right. That camera view that we were watching is quite deceiving. It's hard to tell who's in front of who when you look at it from that view. So the house rocker still on the back of Smokey, Melted Dazza, and Nick the Villa's kind of got on the back of this battle as well now. But they're going to run out of time and run out of laps very, very quickly as where are we? A minute to go. I don't know where Andy is on track right at the moment. Oh, hang on, let me look at the map. Yeah,
just going through the corkscrew.
There we go. So we're going to go another lap, aren't we?
Yeah. So we'll quickly flick back to this race here before we go to Andy.
And who have they caught up on the back of? Is that... that's not Delore. Oh, no, it's Dan, isn't it? No, it's not.
No, it's Delore.
No, it's Vigla. Isn't it? Oh, it's Delore. I beg your pardon. Yeah, it is Delore. Yeah. They caught up on the back of Delore, so I thought Delore was a bit further forward than that, so he must have had a bit of a
mistake or something.
Yeah, or slowdown or whatever. Because Dan's not quite bothering the back of Lucy at the moment, and he's still 2 seconds ahead of G on his last lap. The clock's about to run out, so the end of this lap we will be all done. So so it looks like Andy's going to have this one if he doesn't have any more problems.
Well, I mean, the only G has made up nearly 2 seconds on him in just those few minutes.
He certainly has, but as I said, I think he just run out of time and run out of laps. If we'd had another 5 or 10 laps, then we would have had a scrap on for the lead. But how hard they fight each other, I don't know. Andy and G are both very good friends, but both.
As the melted rocker.
Oh yeah, what's he doing? I thought he was going to drop that by. And where's the house rocker gone? He's gone back behind this group, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's just fallen back quite a bit. As I mix up their names quite a bit. But yeah, Melted Dazzler goes on the outside, then the inside, then nearly loses his rear end with those tyres that have no grip.
Absolutely, you can't do too many aggressive moves like that. The car just breaks traction and then ends up all over the place. So as these guys come back down through the corkscrew, Melted Dazzler's still got his eyes on Smoky Devil's position in front of him, I believe. And as we see,
Andy come across the line here.
Yes, indeed. So race 1 will be a win for Andy, and the only G just behind him from the back of the grid to the front. Luchi Mashuti with a great defensive drive will come in 3rd place. Then 4th will be Dan again from reasonably towards the back, so moved forward for Dan. Delore will be your man in 5th place. Melted Dazza has got in front of Smokey. It must have been penalties worked out differently.
Yes.
Yeah. So a few penalties. So John Boy in 7th, Smokey in 8th, Nick the Villa 9th, the house rocker in 10th, Vigla is in 11th, and WRSJ having a rubbishy evening ends up bringing up the back of the field. So keep your comments coming in, guys. Keep your comments coming in, subscribe, go to the website, all that kind of stuff. We are going to be back in a minute for qualifying for the feature race. So if you need to pop to the loo, get a cup of tea, whatever you're going to do it now. Get back here a bit smart, and we will be back for the feature race in just a few moments.
We good?
Yeah, I don't know yet.
I mean, it says the be right back thing right now on the screen, so...
Has it come up? Oh, right, my stream is lagging, but because it says be right back doesn't mean that we're not off air. I've fallen into that trap before.
Oh, well, people can hear us. Hi.
Yeah, you can. Hi, hello. We're still here.
Hi. We're just waiting for G to turn off our mics, or to confirm that our mics are off.
Yeah, because then we can start swearing. Which I've been caught doing on stream a couple of times.
I nearly cursed once. I didn't.
Oh, yeah, Are we out, are we?
Yes.
Cool. Cool.
I swear, fucking, the energy drink, I've forgotten the name now, Sun X Energy, they better give me some free sampling. The amount of advertisement I've been giving them.
Wow. Mate, I keep doing the same for Ferrari, but they don't give me one.
Well, I mean, you haven't asked them, have you?
No, to be fair, I haven't.
Yeah, so, I mean, there's your problem.
Top 3 for Tier 1 and Tier 2 get prizes. I probably won't use mine, so I'll just do a giveaway.
Get prizes? What do they get?
The drink.
Silent,
The drink.
Silent X Energy.
I think first place gets like 40 quid worth of...
Jesus.
Oh, God, that's a lot of energy drink, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't drink energy.
No, I don't either. No, my body's a temple.
What
What are you laughing at? My missus just bloody laughed at me then. What are you laughing at? Bloody woman.
Oh fuck, I forgot what I was gonna say. That would help.
Pit stop window, G? Lap 8.
Rain, overcast, clear. Just gonna dry out. Do I stand and say?
Whoa. Rain, clear. So is it going to start raining? And then it's going to dry up. So, are you? Get on. Bit of inside information there. Get on. So, you think people are going to have to change tyres? Or are they going to run the wets all the way to the end?
Nah, that wouldn't work.
But the pit stops take so long. The tyre change takes so long. Depends when it clears up, doesn't it?
I think it's gonna clear up pretty quick.
Right. Well, that'd be cool if it does. We like a nice tyre change. Just mix things up.
You should go from wet to dry to lashing it down.
To snow.
No.
To dry. In 10 laps.
No, 5 laps at least.
Like a tyre change a lap.
Yeah. I've done that a few times, just like fucking about.
It was tense at the end.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you could hear us the entire time.
Yeah, I know. I was in the party the whole time.
Yeah.
G was so quick at the end. Ridiculously quick.
Was so you weren't sandbagging towards the end then?
No, I mean I was like when Green Pies mentioned that G was like 3 seconds faster. I was just taking it easy then.
Yeah.
But then,
Were you saving your tires like I predicted?
At the end, last lap when I did a low 35 and G was doing a 34, that was me pushing at my full.
Yeah. Well, I thought after you got past him and you had like while G was still trying to get past Looty.
Once I got past Smokey, I was taking it easy because I thought, the others are all scrapping with each other. It's not going to be a problem. And then I looked at the timing board and saw G had got Looty, and I was like, oh, fuck, maybe I should push a little bit. Started picking it up, and then the gap went from 4 to 3 to 2, and then on the last lap it was like 1 second. I thought, fuck, not this. Don't need this.
It's too slow, so I thought, alright, I'm going for it.
Yeah, it was. It looked like you were taking it easy for a while, Andy, and then, as I said, when G came past, it was game on, wasn't it?
I just took my after ball, for a little bit, like you do if you're out in front.
Problem is with Laguna.
Suddenly appears out of nowhere.
Problem is with Laguna, when you do go offline and on the dirt, you're in big trouble. John Boy dropped it big time.
Oh yeah, I don't know how he didn't hit any of us, man.
No, I know how he didn't do it.
Close. That was so close watching that.
Yeah, he missed. Just missed Yuji and somebody else, wasn't it? I think it might have been. Yeah. But as I say, Laguna Seca, as soon as you get on that dirt, man, you're in trouble, aren't you?
I should have boxed that lap for fresh underwear.
Yeah.
I love doing commentary with you, Kelly.
Thank you. Yep. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Silent X Energy Clio Cup Tier 1. I'm back again, Kelly Davis, and joined with Killian again, otherwise aka Green Pies. We're just had a little break and a little chat about how Silent X Energy haven't given us anything for free, but we're back now for the feature race, Green Pies. Looking forward to this one, aren't you?
I am. I thought for a second I forgot your own name.
Forgot my own name? Yeah, I normally do, mate, but it's usually after half a bottle of vodka. But yeah, it's hard to remember, isn't it, your own name? You end up talking about so many other people's names, you forget your own. So we have got, this is the way it's going to work for the feature race, as kind of Motive normal. We have got a 15-minute qualifying session, so it's a traditional setup for this one. So qualifying, then we have a standing start and a feature race of, I believe it's 26 laps, with a mandatory pit stop. No tyres have to be changed, no fuel has to be put in, no repairs have to be made. But a pit stop does have to take place at some point in the race when the pit window opens, which will be lap 8. Now, I understand there's a bit of weather in the air, Smokey. No, not Smokey, Green Pies. Now I forgot your name. Oh, God, I'm having a completely senior evening this evening. I'm just melted, okay. Totally melted, my brain.
I understand. We know you're elderly, so it's completely understandable. Don't worry about
thank you for that. Yeah. Significant birthday coming up at the end of the week. Yeah, I officially get old.
I believe it's the big half a century, isn't it?
Yeah. Right. Okay. Moving on swiftly.
Whenever I put it that way, it makes you feel old, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, it does me, funnily enough. Do you know what I mean? Because I don't know how old you are, Green Pies, but you're probably not my age, are you?
I am 17. You could be my dad.
17. To be 17 again. My God, when I was 17, I had a Ford Cortina and was hanging around. I would like to say McDonald's, but I don't even think McDonald's existed when I was 17 years old. So it certainly didn't in the part of the world that I live in. There was certainly no McDonald's down here, so I couldn't hang around that car park. But anyway. Moving swiftly on, our race 1 winner you can see on track at the moment. Andy C is on track and going to be keen to put this on pole, isn't he, and make a double win this evening.
Yeah, but one man who's going to want to beat all that is the only G, who's currently out on a flyer lap, I believe.
Yes, indeed. So let's you and me have a couple of predictions, shall we? We saw look at G. G's just showing off, isn't he?
He's just showing.
Showboating, isn't he?
Listening to us, he's just showing off.
Yeah, I mean that's not traditional tyre warming kind of attitude, is it? You know?
No. They don't really try warming up the rear tyres.
No, I mean. The most aggressive tyre warmer I've seen is probably Fernando Alonso, and even he doesn't do it like that. Do you know what I mean? You know, so.
You've not seen me warm up my tyres.
No,
you're going left to right.
You're quite right. I haven't, but I look forward to that in the future. Now, where was I? So we have some predictions. We saw what was happening in race 1, so we know what kind of form people are on this evening. Green Pies. We also know that there is some weather lurking around here in sunny California. We don't believe it's going to be sunny when we start the race. So, with all that in mind, make yourself a prediction for, let's have one for pole and one for the race win. It could be the same driver, obviously. What's your thoughts? Who's your money on?
I don't know. I like to use my commentator's curse as a weapon sometimes.
Yeah.
Because it happens too much. I support a driver and then they just crash and they lose the win.
It happens to all of us. It seems to be a Motive thing. Motive seems to be... The commentator's curse is about as powerful as it can possibly be with Motive. And I remember one night that me, Andy and Dan were all commentating and we were all cursing G, and he had about 5 spins in one night.
I mean, I think I know who I'm going to have to support. I'm going to have to put... This is going to be a hard one. I'm going to have to put G on pole, and then an even harder one, I'm going to have to put G to win. Okay, so supporting the only G, yeah? Yeah, I'm going to have to support him all the way through. I hope we have a great race. Right, I'm going to take... I think it's a really good shout.
I mean, it's a safe bet, isn't it? It's you know, I mean, G's using the Hamilton colours, and it's a bit like that. When G steps onto the racetrack, you know, it's a bit Hamilton-esque, really. Yeah.
You just put on a provisional poll with 9 minutes
provisional
left.
poll, indeed. But I'm going to go for our race 1 winner, Andy. I'm going to back Andy this evening. Sorry, Andy, because that's probably your race absolutely ruined now. But I'm going to go for Andy. Although, don't count out. Look at the moment. Look, Green Pies. Look who's in second place. Yeah, there he is. There he is, Boyo, and smashing the place up. Look at the mess he's just made. Honestly, it looks like his bedroom. You know, it's just absolutely. You know, I will point out that Daniel's now 25 years old, and you know, he well, I don't know what his bedroom looks like, to be honest, but
I'm sure you could tell a few embarrassing stories about him.
Oh, mate, like you wouldn't believe. Yeah, the problem is, Green Pies, and it is a problem that he can tell just as many embarrassing stories about me. So, you know, it's it doesn't always work out.
It's risky. It's risky.
It is, and there's some.
Do you want to waste it?
There's no. I'll hold on to it for a bit. He's got his own little group of people who rip into him, being that he was tier 2 runner-up of the Clios, and him being on the roof at Monza Short, and there's all little stories about Dan and his motive career. So yeah, I'll leave him go for a minute. I'll hold on to it, but he's going well. Look, yeah, he's going well. He's currently second, 3/10 behind G. And my man Andy, obviously, my commentator's curse is working a treat. He was second. He has dropped down to 6th now. So a bit of work to do for Andy. As Dan comes across the line, or has just come across the line.
Slower.
Yeah.
He must have been doing a warm-up lap or something.
Either that or he was... yeah, I better not say that. Yeah, he was slow. Yeah, a slower lap. So... 7.5 minutes left of this session here at Laguna Seca. Oh dear. Well, it was all going race 1, and no time for us to look at the comments. But I am going to have a look at the comments very quickly and try and go through a few. And Kurt V saying Camber, yep, Team Camber, Delore, Vigler, Putney and Kurt V, all Team Camber, so I understand. I think we're going to hear more and more about that. But he's saying Camber, and Sam M, love the replay on the overtake on Penguin, do great touch. Yeah, that was from earlier on. Yeah, it was a great little bit of replay. Production skills from this man, really, actually. Yeah, if not only is he...
That has to come from the patrons, the great patrons. We didn't thank them yet.
All right.
But they've really been helping out Motive Racing.
Yes, indeed. And if you want to become one, please do get involved and go on the website and become one, and whatever you have to go through to do that. The Wall, great commentary and racing so far. Well, thank you. We're doing our best here, me and Green Pies. And is there a sandstorm or something coming? We get from J Palm on track. Well, not a sandstorm, but we certainly got some weather, some weather coming into the race, so look out for that. And Team Prolapse, come on Dan, as he's the only Prolapse driver. Is he? Yes, he's the only Prolapse driver in there at the moment this evening. So Dan keeping up his end for Team Prolapse. So yeah, that's some of the comments. If you want to get involved, please do hit the like button if you haven't already done it. Subscribe, blah 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 blah. You know, or do all that stuff. Blah, 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 yeah, all that. You know, all that stuff that the Motive boys will get off on. Do you know what I mean? The subscribing and the liking and all that. They love all that. So make them happy and do all that. And keep the comments coming in, because we like to hear your comments and see your comments. It makes us feel like we're not just talking to ourselves, isn't it, Green Pies?
Yeah, it just feels quite weird, a 17-year-old and an old guy talking together about racing.
Steady. I quite liked you all the way through the first race, but I'm going off you really quickly with this old guy stuff. You know.
Let's stop it now. As Ludi McShooty has just taken second place away from Dan.
Absolutely, yeah. Good cracking lap from Luty by the looks of it. I tell you what, though, I'm just going to pick up on that point of what you said. That's one of the fantastic things about sim racing and getting involved in these as G goes faster again at the front. And
I need to show off, G.
Yeah, I know. You know what he's like. And yeah, as I was going to say, that's the beauty of sim racing. That you know, we all get along as a cracking good community. You know, I've met so many virtual friends, as it were, and you know, there's
by that.
Yeah, well, I wasn't talking about you, but
oh, well, that one hurt. That one really hurt.
I'm joking. I've met so many really nice people and chatted to so many nice people, and you know, there's no there's the diversity of age and of colour, religion, anything you want to say like that is all null and void round here. Do you know what I mean? We're all just racers. And you know, everyone gets along in such a great community spirit, which is what I absolutely love about the sim racing, and you know, you know, all this kind of setup. As I say, you can have, you know, two guys, you know, just with a passion for racing, to be able to be in the commentary box and, you know, to chat about it freely. It's such a great little community, isn't it?
100%. This is the first time that I've ever spoken to you as well. Like.
Yeah,
mouth to mouth talking.
Yeah, mouth to mouth talking instead of whatever other kind of talking you would do. You know, but yes, I know exactly what you mean. As G goes back into the pits there. Yeah, just in the chat, and we did announce this one last week on Simplay that Team Prolapse has a new driver. For those of you who don't know, and like to welcome the one and only klf900 as a Prolapse driver.
Welcome.
Yeah, just green pies, just in case you don't know, right? klf900 is me. All right, just in case you didn't know that, right?
I can't say I didn't know that.
You can't say you didn't know that, or did you know that?
I can't say I did know that.
Right, okay, I still don't understand if you knew it or not, but... oh, dear.
I swear, who put us two in the commentary box together?
No, what crazy fool did that? You know, because this is working out a treat, this is, isn't it? Oh, dear, oh, dear. Dear, oh, dear.
It really is.
Oh, anyway, we've got about 2 minutes left now, this qualifying session. Still at the top is the only G, and he's in the pits at the moment. He's wound down the window, he's got his feet on the dash, he's got a can of Silent X Energy in his hand, and he is saying, go on, guys, let's see if you can go quicker than that. And if you can, I'll just overtake you on track. Yeah, he's sat back a little bit, and he's reclined the chair. You know, he's in McDonald's mode, isn't he? He's reclined the chair right back. You know, in the cup holder it says Silent X Energy, right? In the cup holder, although it says Monster all the way down the side of it. Don't worry about that. That's all full of caffeine. You don't want that rubbish.
Yeah, just ignore that. Monster's not good for you. Silent X Energy is, because Silent X Energy
absolutely
is plant-based.
Monster is just full of caffeine and sugar. Other bad for you energy drinks are available, of course. You know, it's not only Monster that's awful. You know, so if any of the guys, if any of the guys from Monster Energy are listening, then sorry.
Yeah, we've already got an energy drink sponsor. So if any of the guys from Monster are listening, please take your business elsewhere.
Yeah, we don't want, you know, go back and you know, go back to that guy Lewis or whatever he's called.
Whatever you sponsor, yeah, whatever you guys like that Lewis guy, whatever his second name is.
I don't
think it's Hamilton?
Is it Hamilton? Hamilton? I don't know, something like that, right? Never heard of the guy.
I think it's Harrison.
Harrison, is it? Harrison,
Harrison.
Lewis Harrison.
Like Harrison Ford.
Oh,
like
right,
Harrison
okay, yeah. He'll never amount to nothing, will he? Yeah, you know. No, not with Monster as a sponsor. Yeah,
no,
you know,
like, he's just another wannabe like Michael Schumacher or something.
Who? Michael Schumacher. Oh yeah, I vaguely remember him.
Yeah, that guy.
That guy.
I think he won a few races in F1. I think
he did in a Ferrari, and we were talking about Ferrari off air, weren't we? We were talking
that.
You
still asked them for that Ferrari car.
Yeah, I will now. I'm on air because no doubt there'll be somebody from Ferrari watching, because there normally is. If there's anybody from Ferrari, can I please have one? I don't mind which one. Any one you like. I don't even have to have a red one. I can have one of those rubbishy yellow ones if you like. Just if you want to get rid of one. But a Ferrari, please.
Yellow ones are like at least 100 kilometers an hour slower though. So
are they? Are they? Is it that much? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
the colour really does matter.
Who buys a Ferrari and then buys it in yellow? I mean, for God's sake.
I don't know. It's like, I don't know. It's like wearing sunglasses at night time.
Well, yeah, unless you're Bono or someone like that, then yeah, you can't really get away with it. But yeah, absolutely, it's like wearing sunglasses. It's like wearing someone else's knickers, isn't it? You just don't do it. Wear your own knickers and have a red Ferrari. I feel like we're getting a little bit sidetracked and talking complete rubbish as Daniel manages to go up into second unorthodox in second place in the moment, but Luti's still out there. John Boy's still on a lap. And he's sliding it round. John Boy goes very deep there as he comes in to the last corner, which is this tricky left-hander. Can he do anything about Luty McShootie's done? He ain't going to go any faster. Can John Boy improve on his time? That'll be a no then. No. That'll be a no.
Yeah,
so
that was just a no.
That'll be a no.
Well, Jay is coming across the line. Will he be able to improve? And then Smokey behind him.
Yep. And nothing more for Jay. There we go. That's your qualifying session. So the only G is your man on pole on a 1:34.5. Unorthodox is in second place, 2/10 behind. Luty Mashuti, great effort there into third place. Luty got to be in the fray for driver of the day, driving awesomely this evening. Delore in fourth. John Boy is in fifth. I'll finish that off. Melted Dazzler in sixth. Andy in seventh. Come on, Andy.
Raining.
Yes, funnily enough. Now you come to mention it. Yes, it is. Andy, yeah, sorry, dude. Come on, pick the pace up a bit. Vigla in eighth. The House Rocker in ninth. Smoky Devil in 10th. WSRCJ and Nick de Villa is the man who's going to do the fantastic back to front thing. Hopefully. As you can say, it has started raining here in the middle of California, where it never rains. It is absolutely...
No, that happens all the time.
It's been a while since I've been to California, so...
I go there on the weekends, you see.
Yeah, it was last season when I went last, so Long Beach and whatever, but... so it's absolutely hoosing it down here at Laguna Seca. I don't think I've ever seen a wet race at Laguna Seca, so this will be interesting.
Very at home with the Irish weather.
Yes, I can imagine. You get a bit of weather up there, don't you?
Yeah, this is very much Irish weather. It was actually pouring it down yesterday.
Was it? It doesn't rain in Cornwall. It doesn't rain in Cornwall ever. It's like sunshine every single day.
It's like a desert.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, like wall-to-wall sunshine and 30 degrees every day.
And like just everything's covered in sand. Like even like your coffee, you make it in the morning, you don't even get to drink it, and it's just filled with sand. By the
it's too hot for that. Do you know what I mean? We drink pina colada all the time, So
makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. For those of you listening in the stream, it's not 30 degrees in Cornwall, and sun doesn't shine every day. So don't come down here on holiday. So we're ready to go. We're underway. It's going to be a standing start for this one.
In the wet.
The lights are going. Wait for lights to go out. And we are green and away. Cracking start from Dan. Oh, what's G doing? He had an awful start. Bit too much wheel spin maybe. But look out, the Rainmeister is out in one already. Now he goes door handle to door handle with Delore. The two green cars as they come down into the Andretti hairpin for the first time. It's still unorthodox from Delore and Luty McShootey in there. G had an absolute terrible start and he's still going slowly. I don't know what's going on with G, but he's going backwards at the moment. He'll be thanking you, Green Pies, for backing him.
We got inside information that he was starting on dry tyres, so...
yes, that's true. You're right. I'd forgotten all about that, to be fair. So the only G... is started on slicks, so look at that. Dan getting a little bit swamped there. Delore trying to go. They still go door handle to door handle, but Dan still managed to keep it in check. John Boy's right there as well. Watch out for him because he is a quick lad. Looney McShooty having a cracking evening this evening. He's going to try and go down the inside of Delore and get after Dan, but the Rainmeister is out in front at the moment. But inside information with G, he's on slicks, so he's expecting it to get dry reasonably quickly.
In one lap, he's already lost 6 seconds.
Yeah. So how long is this rain going to last? And is he going to be able to pick it back up once the rain stops? Green Pies, that's going to be very, very interesting throughout this race, is it not?
It really is, because even if he does get it going, his tyres are going to be absolutely freezing. Like, he's just, you look at the map, he's just completely dropped off. And then these guys are going to be on fresher new rubber.
Well, this is it. So, you know, those slicks, is he going to damage them by running them around in the wet? I suppose they shouldn't wear out too badly. That won't be really an issue. But as you say, they will be very, very cold. It will be absolutely tiptoeing round. He's 10 seconds off the back of the pace now after lap 1. So Daniel out in front, unorthodox. As I said before, the Rainmeister always goes well in the rain, but we're expecting it to dry up later on. Certainly G is, who's 10 seconds off the back at the moment and running on slicks. Everyone else, we presume, is on wet, and I would have thought so considering the pace of them.
Yeah, everyone else who has a few brain cells left decided, you know what, it's raining outside, let's put on the rain tyres instead of the slick tyres.
Wow, this is yeah, this is it. So so Dan's just holding it onto it in front. We're on board with Andy. My choice for pole, well, we didn't get that. My choice for the win, well, come on Andy, crack on. You've got to get through these guys. Who's that gone deep? Delore went wide there. You go wide on this track and it's really does harm you. Delore went very wide and went backwards, gone back to 6. He was fighting for the lead. That means Looney McShooty is now the man on the back of Dan and trying to catch Dan. John Boy in there as well, and Andy as well. Makes up your top 4 at the moment.
Yeah, this is some... Ooh, I nearly did a Dan there, or an Andy inside hiccup. But yeah,
yeah, just like Andy, he has to tell you when he's hiccups, just in case you don't know what a hiccup is. You go, oh, hiccup.
That was a hiccup.
That was a hiccup.
Hiccup. Oh, that was a hiccup, guys. Don't worry. This is some very close driving in the rain, and the only G has lost 17 seconds and still losing time in just 2 laps. He's an entire pit lane behind these guys. That is my form of measurement now.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, he's got to be sitting in the car thinking to himself, was this really such a good idea? You know, you've got to have faith. You really got to have faith, Green Pies, haven't you, in what's going to happen later in the race as you're just bleeding time. You know, we're only into lap 3 and he's nearly 20 seconds off the lead.
Yeah, and the rain is still coming down, like heavy as it is at the start. So I don't know when he's expecting this rain to bugger off, but it doesn't look like it's leaving for at least another, I don't know, maybe 3 laps, and then even still the track will still be damp.
Well, yes, you say that, but I mean, we do live and work in the virtual world here, and things can change very, very quickly, as we know. It can go wet to dry in a very, very short space of time in the virtual world, and does. So, you know, at the moment, you would look at that track and say that's soaking wet for the rest of the day. But that's not going to be the case in the virtual world, and we'll see if G's strategy is going to pay off for him towards the end of the race. But for the moment, he's still bleeding time. 21 seconds now off the lead. He's looks like he's not falling back quite as quickly, so he might have found a little bit of temperature in his tyres and whatever. But
do you remember when the pit window is?
It's number 8. Lap 8 is the pit window. From lap 8 they can pit. As I said earlier, they don't have to do anything to the car. They don't have to change tyres, don't have to fuel, don't have to repair. All they have to do is make their pit stops. But if this race is going to dry, which certainly G believes it is, and we all believe it's going to, then they're going to have to make a pit stop for dry tyres. Now, The problem is,
on the down low, we know it's going to be dry.
We do, yeah. You know, I was trying to keep the tension for the, you know, for the people, you know, not to just, you know, Martin Brundle, when he starts chatting, he doesn't know what the weather's going to do, does he? You know, it's not really fair that we know what the weather's going to do. That's crazy, isn't it? You know, but we do.
I think that the guys setting it up just shouldn't tell us what the weather's going to be.
Yeah,
like.
absolutely. I think weather should be. I don't think the guys in the cars should know either. I think it should be a complete surprise, because weather's kind of like that, isn't it, Green Pies? Do you know what I mean? It kind of, like, you know, doesn't tell you.
Whenever you're showing up to the F1, you've just got your fingers crossed, your toes crossed. You've got everything that can cross that it's not raining. Yeah,
absolutely. Unless you're watching Formula One, and then you've got everything crossed that it will rain. You know.
If you're watching the actual F1, then
the actual
that it's going to rain.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want, or dry to wet, or whatever, you know. I'm not
dry to wet.
Yeah, I'm not overly keen when we start on the wet, because I think Formula One's got all a bit namby-pamby by sending out the safety car a little bit too, you know, as the safety car out a little bit too unnecessarily for wet races. But don't get me started on Formula One, because we won't talk about anything else otherwise if we start chatting Formula One.
Probably the same with me, but John Boy is going to try and go up the inside of Looney McShooty, but Looney McShooty defends him very well.
Yeah, we know Luty's good at defending. He held G off for quite some time, but John Boy's got it done.
John Boy gets it done.
Luty went in a bit deep there, didn't he? And John Boy's got the job done, and now he can get after Dan.
There's an overtake going on back here. Someone was very wide, and I believe that was...
the House Rocker or Nick Viegler.
Viegler, I think, went wide a bit.
Yeah, as the House Rocker goes a little bit wide as well and gets passed by somebody. They're all close here. Smokey Devil in this one, and who else is in this one? That would be somebody else going wide, smashing up the. They're off. Two of them off.
Smokey Devil and the House Rocker.
Yeah, Smokey Devil. Smokey, and took the House Rocker with him. So they come together and have a bit of a moment. If you stay there long enough, you'll see the G will come round in about a day and a half. The clouds.
I just want to quickly talk about. It's still raining, it seems.
Yeah.
And the lap window opened.
And look at the cloud, the sky, Green Pies. It doesn't look like it's drying up, does it, by any stretch of the imagination?
Yeah. So if it doesn't dry up before lap 8, then the G's entire strategy has just gone out the window.
Well, yes. I mean, lap 8 is the pit window. They obviously don't have to stop on lap 8. They can stop any time between lap 8 and lap 25. So
yeah, but obviously these drivers know it's going to go to dry, so they're just going to keep driving until it's dry.
Well, they're going to. Yeah, exactly. That would be the most sense, wasn't it? You don't come into the pit stop on lap 8 if it's still raining when you know it's going to get dry. So yeah, you're going to run until you need the dry tyres, don't you? So
and the G is about half a lap behind them now.
Yes. So I mean, we're yet to see. You know, G's usually quite good at these strategy calls and so on and so forth. But just at the moment, I don't think it's panning out for him. It might be the work of genius later on. We'll have to wait and see. But right at the moment,
maybe he's pulled a Ferrari.
Sorry.
Maybe he's pulled a Ferrari.
Maybe indeed.
With the horrible pit strategy.
That's
getting very close up here.
He needs to mess it up in the actual pit lane to be the same as Ferrari, wouldn't he? Do you know what I mean? Or you know, because they have a tendency to mess up pit stops strategies as well and make silly mistakes, don't they? Ferrari.
Well, he's driving the Lewis Hamilton car, so you never know.
Although it's the Nick Hamilton one more than it is the Lewis Hamilton one. So
we'll just say it's Lewis Hamilton. No one knows his brother.
No, well, yeah. If you follow touring car, you might. Which I follow quite closely. But Nick Hamilton doesn't have the kind of same kind of results as Lewis. So We'll see with G. We'll see if it's a masterstroke or not. But certainly John Boy has caught back up to the back of Dan, hasn't he? While we've been chatting, Green Pies. He's caught on the back, and there's a big scrap going on for third place with Andy Luty and Delore. Andy's really come up through these. Got in front of Luty. I think he got him on the last corner. I kind of saw in the background.
Yeah, well, one thing that I'm just noticing, we're on lap 7. It's just stopped raining, so...
Ah, well, there we go. Oh, as Looty gets in very deep. Loads of understeer on that as he goes around the Andretti hairpin. And he's got... who has he got with him for close company? That would be Delore, wouldn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, Delore.
So...
Yeah, Delore. So Looty going backwards at the moment, not having the same kind of form as he was in race 1. And... yeah, it looks like it's like the rain has stopped now, doesn't it?
Yeah, the rain's definitely stopped falling, but the tracks, you can see all the spray coming off the cars, so they're just going to have to do one more lap on these wet tyres, I think, and then the track will dry up enough for them to go on the drive. Because the only G is only just coming through the Andretti hairpin, as we see there.
Yep.
We'll quickly flick onto him for a second.
38 seconds behind the leader as we speak in lap 7. He's got 19 laps as we speak, but it's got to dry up first for him to get back on the pace. Now he's still got to make a pit stop, of course, but he won't have to change the tyres. Yes.
But will the tyres take 38 seconds to put on is the big question.
Well, no, this is it. I think G is relying on a bit of people getting up to speed or maybe going early or whatever. I personally don't think that strategy is going to pay off for him, but we will see. It might be a masterstroke, but it does take, again, if people are unaware of this platform, Project Cars 2 is what we race on for the Clios. If you're unaware of this, the Project Cars mechanics are probably the most useless pit crew in the world ever, right? So,
definitely. As Ludi McShooty is going up the outside, he's going to try, but he goes way too deep there.
Yeah, very, very deep. To be fair, so did Delore. Is it Delore? No, yeah, it is Delore in front of him. So did Delore. So, kind of status quo there with those two, really. Oh, look, John Boy's done. Yeah, he's done Dan. But Dan's going to come back at him by the looks of it. Yes, he is. Dan's on the
side by side.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that was close, I think. Dan backed out of it a little bit. Lives to fight another day. So if I know Dan,
lapping the same times.
Yeah, absolutely. So if I know Dan, he won't want to let this go. So scrap on at the front, and he's catching them up bit by bit. Of course, the weather is going to change. We know that because we're weathermen, and it is going to dry up at some point in this race. Still a lot of spray at the moment, but it is going to get drier. Going back to what I was saying, the Project Cars 2 mechanics are the most useless people on the face of the planet, unless you want your headlights changed, right? Because they do headlights. Oh, better than Halford's. Do you know what I mean? They change headlights at breakneck speed.
No one's better than Halford's. No one's better than Halford's.
No one's better than Halford's for headlight changing. As we see Dan going up the inside.
They're side by side.
Side by side. Yeah, Dan got up the inside. Who is? Oh, Andy. Yeah, Andy's and Looty and Delore all into the pits as Dan's gone down the inside all the way along the first straight and across the start-finish line and down into the hairpin. John Boy's going to have to tuck in behind him, but John Boy ain't going to give it up at that.
He's going to fight him back.
Yeah, absolutely, and he'll go back at Dan. This is going to be an ongoing scrap throughout the rest of the evening. I hope they stay in close company like this. It's what we're looking forward to. Is scraps like this. So a few guys taking the pits. As you can see, Delore and Looty are still in the pits because they're changing those tyres, and that's what's going to take the time. So Andy's come out of the pits.
Andy's out in front of the only G, so...
Yeah.
And the only G still has to make a pit stop.
Yes, he still has to make a pit stop, although he won't have that change of tyres. So the Project Cars mechanics do tyres very, very slowly, and that's why the point I've been trying to get to for about the last 2.5 hours is that
but you just never get a chance.
If these guys could stop scrapping for a minute and let me get my point out, that'd be fantastic. My point being that none of these guys want to change tyres, because changing tyres on this game takes an incredible long time. So, I don't know what it is, 15, 20 seconds plus, 30 seconds plus to change the tyres. So this is what the only G was kind of counting on, was that it takes so long to do tyres on this platform that...
As John Boy comes in.
John Boy's come in. He had got in front of Dan again just momentarily, and so Dan goes on. We'll see when Dan pulls the trigger now. Will he go much deeper into this race, or is he going to be forced to change tyres? Did I actually get to my point? Yeah, I did.
Yeah, they're really slow at pit stops. Yeah, you got to that. But Andy, I'm sure Andy changed his tyres, and he's come out ahead of the Only G, and the Only G still has to do his pit stops. So,
yeah, you're right.
As we're just watching this battle between Jay, I believe, and Nick
de Villa, yeah. I started calling him, when I first started commentating this round, I used to call him Nick the Villain, which I thought was a great gamer name, Nick the Villain. I would take that one, but I've never had any feedback from Nick the Villa to see if he liked Nick the Villain or not. But used to go very, very well in the tier 2s, but I don't know if he's quite found his groove in the tier 1s yet.
Well, these tier 1 drivers are the best of the best, driving in the I've forgotten the name of the energy drink.
Silent X Energy.
Silent X Energy. My brain just gone blank.
That's it. Yeah. Now see.
Tier 1.
Green Pies, I mean, I don't know about you, but I've got a can of Coke Zero in front of me. If I had a can of Silent X Energy in front of me, then you'd never forget, would you? You know?
I'd never forget if I got to drink it.
Yeah, of course you wouldn't. You know? Absolutely.
Nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
Absolutely, yeah, big nudge, big wink, wink. So, Silent X Energy, just a couple of cans, send them to Motive HQ.
I believe it's powder.
Oh, is it? Okay.
It's not a can.
Okay, well, we'll put it in a can, shall we? I got a baked bean can here somewhere. I'll put it in there and mix it up in there. So Silent X Energy, that's just send some to Motive HQ and just put on the parcel one for Green Pies and one for Kelly, and then they'll I'm sure they'll never get to us. But it'd be nice to try it, wouldn't it?
I'd love to try it, especially because it's really healthy for you. It's plant-based.
Yeah, it is. It is plant. All jokes aside, we said about Monster Energy and you know, a lot of these Red Bull and so on and so forth. They're heavy on the caffeine and heavy on the sugar and all the chemicals and all the rest of it. And you know, it's not good for your kids. Just say no. But if you do want an energy rush, which is good for you, plant-based, Silent X Energy is your man. So check it out. As I say, all jokes aside, check out their website. It is plant-based. It is a energy drink that is good for you. You know, so
I also believe that there is a discount if you use Motive Racing.
You're right on it, my friend, aren't you? Right on it, you are. You can stay. That's for certain, sure. Yes, there is a discount code that you can use for being part of the Motive Racing League. So do get involved in that. It's drying up a little bit here now. Green Pies. Doesn't seem to be the spray that we had before, though. It is getting dark as well, which isn't helpful.
Dan, I'd be coming in right about now.
And he is.
Say that, he's coming a bit.
Yeah,
I must be Dan.
Yeah, you must be. You must have known exactly what he was doing. And he's coming into the pits now. Going to change his tyres.
The question
if you want
is, where will the Only G come out?
We'll have a quick embarrassing story about Daniel, shall we? Daniel is an ex BMX racer and champion. He did really well in BMX racing. He put a new tyre on his BMX bike. I left him to it. Well, I don't know how old he was, 12, 13 years old, something like that. Put a new tyre on his BMX bike, and they were race tyres and they were directional. And he put it on the front wheel, back on the bike, with the tread the wrong way round, right? So nothing wrong with that. I said, that's the wrong way round. It's directional, Dan, right? So instead of taking the wheel out of the forks and just turning the wheel round, Daniel took the wheel off, took the tyre off, turned the tyre round on the wheel, and then put the wheel back on the forks. And then I had to explain to him what he'd done there. So, there's one for you. As you wanted a little bit of a story about Dan, that was we were at the British Championships in Cheddar when he did that. So
I'm not gonna let him live that down now.
No, there's plenty more. I'll drip feed them for the next, probably the next 10 years. I'll drip feed them out. You know, no problem.
As long as you're commentating on Motive, you'll constantly drip feeding them.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, paying attention, Green Pies, because Dan went in and came out in first place, did he not?
Change his tyres. He didn't change. I don't think he changed his tyres.
No. So is he going to struggle on with the wets then? Is he? As we see, the only G look. Oh, absolutely just.
Andy goes very wide.
Has Andy changed tyres?
I don't think anyone's actually changed tyres.
I think that probably, was it Delore was in a very, very long time. Maybe Delore has changed his tyres, but certainly...
We'll be able to tell by lap times, so we will.
Oh, who's that who went deep? That's Dan. The only G is in first place. He hasn't stopped yet, but he is in first place.
I wonder, did Dan make a huge mistake and the only G has just made a god strategy?
Andy's gone into the pits for the second time. He's going on slicks, I'm telling you. I bet you he sits there for a long time now, and he's going to go on to the... Yeah, look. Oh, hang on. He's doing reverse wheel spins by the looks of it. I don't know what that's all about. A bit of a...
tyres wouldn't change.
The tyres won't change.
They won't change.
He's been in twice, and Andy can't get there. I mean, this is a glitch with project cars, and we've seen this time and time again. We've seen it with Daniel.
Clearly,
we've heard it happen to Dan more than once. So Andy's been in the pits twice. The tyres won't change. The mechanic. I told you how useless the mechanics are, haven't I? They won't even bother changing them. You know.
I don't even know why they bother turning up to work. It's a joke.
What do they get paid? What do they get paid? Because they're not worth it. You know.
Probably cowboy hats or something ridiculous. But
yeah, we did say about some cowboys round here at Laguna Seca, didn't we? And
Dan just lets John Boy go through easily.
Yeah, he just kind of let him through, didn't he? So again, I wonder if Dan's tyres, he got it, but I don't think Dan was in and out so quick that he couldn't possibly have changed tyres. Again, the useless mechanics not changing the tyres, certainly on Andy's car, and look, Dan's coming in again, so he's going to have another crack at changing those tyres. So it's all slipping away for Daniel, and slipped away for Andy. You've left Andy completely.
I've retired from the race. Let's see what happens with Dan here. If his tyres don't change, I reckon he might pull the plug.
Yeah,
that's...
They haven't changed his tyres, look. He's off going to go... Oh, I don't know, actually, maybe. Is he putting fuel in? He might be putting fuel in.
No, they've lifted up the thing.
Yeah, they are changing his tyres now. See, I went in twice, and both times. The first time, I had fuel on my strategy as well, and the first time, they didn't do tyres or fuel. Second time, they put fuel in, and then just let me off, so I don't know what was going on.
Yeah,
but,
right.
Very strange. Project
you should have just stayed until they put on the tyres.
No, I did. I was just sat there, not even touching the rig.
Dan's leaving the pits now.
So Dan's been sat there a little while, so there's an opportunity that or a good chance that his tyres have changed. But it's his race ruined. That's the end of that, really, isn't it? So he's not going to catch back up from that. So the man who was 38 seconds behind at one point, off the back of the lead, is now leading the race. He's got John Boy 8 seconds behind him, so... yes, thank you. As my missus just says to me, the G hasn't pitted yet, of course, but John Boy has, and we think John Boy's tyres have been changed. So,
so he's lapping faster than the only G. He would not be doing that if he was on tyres.
No, absolutely not.
This track does look bone dry now. You could eat your dinner off this.
Well, I'd rather not.
Situations, tyres from the race.
Who has?
Nick's just had the same situation. He's out of it. He was making a pit stop and then immediately after retired. So I think we have the same problem.
Right, so we've lost Nick Davila as well to again rubbish team tactics, and the YTS Project Cars mechanics have ruined somebody else's race. So my prediction now, I reckon when G pits, he's going to pop in behind John Boy, but probably in front of Luty. There's a big gap from John Boy back to Luty. Luty is now 23 seconds off the back of the G, so G won't have to change tyres because he started on slicks. So it's going to be John Boy and the only G for this race, I believe, as long as one of them doesn't make a mistake, is my prediction as we are at the moment. So
since we have Andy here at our disposal, Andy, how long would pit stop usually take, going from entrance to
through
exit?
the pit lane? Through the pit lane's 15 seconds. Pit stop's 20. Tyres would be 30, 35.
So, but without tyres, what you're looking at, 20?
Without tyres, 20 seconds. Yeah, pretty much on the money. 20 seconds.
So Ludi, McShooty, and Melted Dazzler are going to be right behind him.
Yeah, I mean,
anytime soon.
All things being equal, if G comes in, doesn't do tyres, because we know he doesn't going to have to, and does a 20-second pit stop, it's going to put him easily in front of Luty and Melted Dazzler. So that would be quite a result, really, wouldn't it? But then again,
with the hypothesis as to why the mechanics aren't working, because the G started on his soft tyres, so I think he just paid them off not to put on soft tyres than anyone else.
He could do, or he could be just a little bit smarter than the rest of us, and remembering that the Project Cars mechanics are rubbish, you know? Or he might just like the challenge, because to be fair, he was on pole. He could have just taken the same strategy as everybody else and just driven his race. You know, it wasn't like he started at the back, was it? You know?
No, he had an atrocious start due to the fact that he started on slick tyres on a soaking wet track.
Yeah, which I've always found isn't the best way to do it. But
it doesn't usually work.
No, it's not. Doesn't usually work a treat, does it?
But it's worked here for the only G.
Yeah. But as I said, I mean, G could have just led from the front and done it that way, but he's probably just showing off, really. You know, so
he's definitely just showing off.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll see when G comes in. I don't know if he's pulling away from Luty. Well, I say he is marginally. He's 23, 24 seconds. It's bouncing around that kind of gap. John Boy's still in about 8 seconds behind the G. The only other thing, of course, that will come into play, and I don't know if Andy, if you can see it on your screen, what penalty the only G's got.
Yeah, so at the moment, G's got a 1 second penalty, so has Jay and DeHuis, and Lee's got a 2 second.
Okay, so not really going to come into play, that 1 second time penalty. It's not going to make a huge difference to the outcome. So,
well, you never know. He does still have to pit, and John Boy does seem to be going faster than him at the moment.
Absolutely. Well, I've got no doubt that John Boy will be in front of him, and I've got a good chance that all things being equal and things pan out like they should, that John Boy will take the win on this one. But it's where G ends up in relation to Luty, I think, is the interesting outcome for sure. I think I might. I was going to say I might as well apologise to Andy now, because I did back you for the race, Andy. So I apologise that your race was ruined. No, you know how strong the commentator's curse is on Motive.
The fact that the commentator's curse, it always influences events that are out of your control, doesn't it? Whenever the commentator's curse strikes, it's always events that the driver has no input in. Like, for example, the game not letting you ready up, or pit stop not going right, the tyre's not changing. It's always something that is out of the driver's control, and it's real. The commentator's curse is real. It's proved it.
It is on Motive.
It's variables that cannot be influenced, that just seem to be influenced by the commentator's curse. I don't know what it is. It's unbelievable.
I've spent so many races now where we've jumped onto a certain person, and I've gone, oh look, there's Melted Dazzler, he's doing really well, and then next thing they drop it, you know, as soon as you speak about them. I mean, as Andy knows,
G's lost it. He's just spun out into the dirt, coming through the pit. He just, I'm not joking. He actually did.
We just jumped onto him. We just jumped onto him. You're quite right.
That he's been on since it was torrential rain at the start, starting to wear off. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe that, or he nodded off. Who knows? Who knows what could have happened to the G? But that's, I mean, net loss has only really been, well, second and a half down on his delta. He's only really
is nearly in his pit window.
Yeah, and he's lost. He hasn't lost as much as he could, you know. So Luty's back is 21 seconds now behind. Luty's got his own problems with Melted Dazzler breathing down his neck. So it's going to be a tighter this time as well. And I don't know what G's going to go. I don't know if G's going to go right to the end and take it to lap 25 before he does his pit stop, or he's going to do it before then. But it's certainly going to be nip and tuck now with Lutey McShooty on if he comes out in front of him. I wonder if G pulls the trigger now and gets it over and done with, why he's got that gap. Or not.
Just have to play catch up to John Boy.
Yeah.
No, he's staying out.
Staying out. He's sticking with his sticking with whatever strategy he's got in his head. But yeah, just going back to the commentator's curse, I was going to say, both me and Andy spend stints on Simplay, commentating for Simplay Motorsport, and I don't think the commentator's curse is as strong there as it is on Motive. Motive, it seems to be as strong as it possibly can be, the commentator's curse. And do you remember that race that you, me and Dan commentated on, Andy?
GTEs. It was
Simona, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, it was Sonoma.
Simona, where we kept picking on G.
Yeah, we kept. We cursed G to rot something rotten there, didn't we? Oh, he gets a bit of a wobble. Oh, as he started to, his tyres started to go off. Look,
there's the commentator's curse. Oh, that's how it works, folks. We have the
really
power.
Struggling on those tyres. I think he was on those tyres when it was pretty much the whole place was flooded.
Yeah, he started on them.
Dry tyres. Literally, those things are going to be hanging on by a thread because the damage that would have been done to those in the early laps is it's biting him on the on the bum now, isn't it? You can see.
Yeah. Well, this is the risk that he took, and as I said, he could have just run a race from pole and whatever. So he obviously took it as a bit of a challenge to do it this way. But the challenge is real, as you can see. He's beginning to struggle on those tyres, very much so. So. He's gonna,
and he's staying out again.
Yeah, he is. Yes, indeed. I mean, he's not going to change these tyres now. He's going to ruin the whole concept of his strategy. So he's got to take these tyres to the end. So it is really just a case of when he pulls the trigger.
Putting off of the racing line there, moving over the white lines to the outside of the truck. I'm not sure what he's trying to do there. Maybe he's just he's texting while driving or something. And
you know what he's like.
He's many talents. Yeah, I've seen it before. I've actually seen him. He's been driving in the Clios, out in the lead, and at the same time he's been posting messages in our staff chat on Discord.
I don't know how he does it. I mean, I don't
know.
I think he's. Do you think he might be an alien?
He might be.
You know what? I don't know.
I think he could be from another world. Do you know what I mean? Have some sort of. So maybe he's got like six arms or something, and he can text and post on a stream and do the broadcasting and I don't know, eat a pizza and drive a race car, because he seems to be multi-talented that way. So I don't know, maybe I don't know.
Maybe there must be one thing that he must be bad at something. There must be something that he really struggles with. It must be something basic, something really basic and simple.
Yeah, he can't.
He's can do that. He can't. It must be.
Yeah, I don't know. He's not very good at making sandwiches or something, is he? I don't know. Whatever it is. Terrible. I don't know. Terrible at.
The only G cannot tie his shoelaces. There you go.
There you go. Could it be that?
That's a good one.
That's we just heard. Yeah, we just heard G. That's wrong. He can actually tie his shoelaces, so that's something. Although,
and Rocker and Jay are going side by side here, coming through these corners.
Well done, Green Pies. Bring us back to the racing and not talking complete rubbish about G being hunted down by Will Smith in a black suit or anything like that. So that's not the case. But
he did a feature for our end of season highlights a couple of seasons ago. We might hire him again to do. We're talking with Will Smith, but we're also in discussions with. What's his name? That other guy, Idris Elba. I've heard of him. TV adverts. Yeah, the one who played Luther in the police drama thing.
Yeah.
He's. We're talking about him as well, but we've got lots of candidates in there. But Will Smith is potentially on the horizon once again.
Do you want me to have a word with Will? I can text him a minute.
We were with him at Long Beach, weren't we? Do you remember in the GTEs a couple of seasons ago, Kelly? We had Will Smith in the commentary box and he was, having a laugh with us. He was telling us about his new movie. I can't remember. Something absolutely rubbish, I think we just pretended to be interested, didn't we? Because obviously we wanted to interview my corners. But,
I don't know about you, but most of the stuff he's in is just boring, isn't it? I mean, this thing about every single movie he's in hits the top of the box office, yeah, whatever, Will, innit? You know? I mean, yeah, you know, what do you think you are, like the Fresh Prince or something? Do you know what I mean? Come on, Will, you know?
At the end of the day, you're going to get quite big-headed with all that stuff, aren't you? It's going to go to your head, inevitably.
Yeah, of course it is.
And then you're going to start your own podcast.
You know what you're talking about with this sort of thing as well.
Oh dear. Okay. Anyway, other A-class actors are available.
Yeah, if any A-list celebrities wanna do commentary with us, they're more than welcome to.
Oh, would you love it? Who would you be? Who would your dream choice be? I'm going to throw this one out to Andy first, Green Pies, and then to you. Who would be your dream co-commentator? You know, apart from me, of course. But you know, who would be your dream co-commentator in the commentary box with you? Anybody you like, live or dead?
Anybody in the commentary box? Oh,
yeah. If they're dead, they won't be doing much.
What was that?
Oh, he said Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman. Well, he'd sound brilliant. That's for certain, sure.
That's a hard question. I'm going to have to think about that one.
Okay, I'll give it some time. I'll throw it. Oh, we've only got 5 laps. We've only got 5 laps left, so don't think for too long. But Green Pies, I'll throw it out to you as well.
Oh, that's
it's a hard question. It's a bit on the spot. Yeah. I mean, give me a few minutes. I'll try and think who I would want to back me up in the commentary box. Would I be the co-commentator, or would they be my sidekick?
Oh, that's the House Rockers.
Yeah, innit? That was an interesting line. He's going to have to give that place back.
Yeah, he has to give that position back.
Yeah,
and he does.
And he has. Yeah, good boy.
Yeah, that just was not the right way. But he's also given Dan the opportunity to just go up on the inside and mug him. I think he's flashing his lights saying, give him my position back.
I think he's saying sorry, actually, but there you go. But Dan does another position, so that's panned out really well for Dan. Yeah, as you wish, Andy. You can be commentator or co-commentator. It doesn't matter. Your choice.
Well, I put that on pause a second. The House Rocker and Jay are having a lovely battle here.
Yes, they are, side by side.
Camera angles. They are still side by side, going through this corner.
Tight through there, side by side.
Will we see our first side by side, true side by side, coming into the corkscrew?
G's in the pits, by the way.
Yes, he is.
Yes, he is. So we're going to see where he comes out in relation to Luty. That's going to be the interesting one.
Too close. So where's G? G's coming out of the pits and he's out.
Yeah.
I think Luty actually slowed down a considerable amount. But John Boy's running away now. John Boy is just gonna keep going.
Yeah, I said it, didn't I? I'd say John Boy would have this one, and G's done it. He's out in front of Luty McShooty. So it's panned out to second place. He's done the whole race on the original tyres, on the slick tyres. He started the race in the soaking wet on the slick tyres.
John Boy will have fresher tyres though by I believe 10 laps or something.
Yes, he will. But we've only got a couple of laps left, so to cruise up and catch
15 seconds. I don't think.
Yeah, it ain't going to happen, is it? Unless John Boy drops it. You know, so if we start talking about John Boy, he'll probably end up dropping it.
Yeah. Let's continue watching this battle between
let's.
The House
let's.
And yes, let's. I believe if I wanted a quiet day in the commentary box, I'd probably have Kimi Räikkönen come do.
Kimi, that'd be brilliant. Yeah, Kimi Räikkönen would be brilliant.
I'd have some silence.
I was going to go for either Ayrton Senna. No, what am I talking about? James Hunt.
That would be good.
James Hunt in the commentary box if I was going for a driver. Or possibly Oliver Reed would be quite an interesting one. If those of you are not aware, Google it, kids. Oliver Reed. He was a very famous actor who liked a little drink.
What kind of actor is the kind of question, though?
He was a very good actor, actually, Oliver Reed. He was very, very, very good, but he had a little bit of a drink problem. Well, quite a lot of drink problem.
I'd love like Michael Caine or something.
Yeah, I mean, Morgan Freeman was a good shout because his voice is just absolute silk, isn't it? You know,
it really is.
Yeah.
Or David Attenborough.
I think Michael Jackson. That'd be quite interesting.
Well, he's dead. He won't be doing much talking.
I said live or dead. I didn't think it doesn't matter which. And both the people I picked were both dead anyway. So you know,
Well, they won't be doing much talking if they're dead, but...
Wow, that's all right, because I talk enough for everybody.
The only G has made up 4 seconds since his pit stop, which is it's scary. John Boy, get your foot down.
Yeah, John Boy's safe, and he got 2 laps in 12 seconds. Do you know what I mean? I mean, G's not going to do.
Safe.
Yeah, he's safe. He's safe as long as he doesn't mess it up, of course. You know, but other than that, he's pretty safe. So. Well, Andy's quiet there. He's probably off googling loads of people at the moment and seeing who he wants.
I'm just watching the battle between Luti and Delore. Delore's closing up on Luti a little bit, but
yeah,
Melted Dazzler was right on the back of him, and he dropped off a bit coming through the corkscrew. I was watching those guys, and he had a bit of a moment coming through there. I think he might have hit the back of Delore or something, because it seemed like he was stuck dead in the corkscrew. He was just getting going again as I flicked to him. So, yeah, he's had a bit of a mare there, by the looks of it. So he's dropped off this fight, but this is for the final podium spot here between Luti and Delore. And Delore's definitely going to be extra motivated to try and pick up that position. Last time round he was the second half quicker than Luti, so yeah, he's definitely now on a mission right now.
Yeah, Delore's been up and down the field this evening. He was towards the front at the beginning of this race, but as I say, he's been kind of up and down this field, definitely clawing his way back and putting the pressure on Luti. These guys, Delore and Luti, I would say they're probably reasonably evenly matched, wouldn't you, Andy?
Yeah, I would say so. They're usually sort of up there or thereabouts, but kind of always fall a little bit short, maybe.
Yeah, always towards the top half, aren't they, both of them?
Yeah, generally. Luti's got a couple of race wins. I think Delore's might have had a couple as well. I'm not 100% actually. I remember. I'm usually so focused on my race, I don't even know who's at the top, to be honest. I just focus on where I finish. But yeah.
Well, I'm just going to quickly ask, Kelly, who would you give driver of the day? I know we're not finished, but I think we can. I know.
We're close enough to talk about it, aren't we? Do you know what? I'm going to go for Luti. I thought he had a cracking race one, although the G got him in the end. He had a solid race and defended really well. For me, I think it's Luti Matshuti.
That's a good shout. I think I'm actually going to have to go with the only G. He's done a last to second place 2 races in a row.
Yes, indeed. Although, kind of first to last to second on this one, but by his own choice. But yeah, a great drive.
By lap 1, he's been last and gone second.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll have to give it to John Boy. He's done bits, and honestly, from being out there on the track, he was very hard to keep up with. He was really putting the pressure on Dan in the early stages, and I think it would have been hard for Dan to fight. I think they would have been a good battle, and Dan could have easily won that battle with John Boy, but John Boy,
they were scrapping.
As such, he gets my vote.
They were trading places, and I think if Dan's tyres had been done, then it would have we would have had a bit more of that battle because they were trading places. But as you say,
I think Dan was more than his match and could have definitely come out with the win, but it just luckily wasn't on his side tonight. And John Boy's, got the rub of the green, and ultimately he's going to come out with the win.
Watching John Boy come to the final corner of the final lap.
Yep. Going to take the win. It's going to be another win for John Boy, which is going to do his championship no harm whatsoever. So it's going to be John Boy is going to be your leader from slicks from the very start. The only G with a masterclass in strategy. Takes it over the line and will come in second place. Delore, as I've just given Luti shooting my drive of the day, Delore has overtaken him and got himself on the podium. So great recovery drive from Delore. Luti Matshuti comes in 4th place. Good drive, good meeting for Luti. Melted Dazzler is going to be 5th place man. He seems to have been always chasing somebody this evening, was Melted, but ends up 5th. Dan, with 2 pit stops, was leading early doors with the best start. He's going to come in with a recovery of 6th place, and one of the men without a penalty. Vigla is going to come in 7th. He's been up and down the grid. The House Rocker will be your 8th place. WSRCJ in 9th, and Smoky Devil will be rounding up the top 10. We lost a few drivers due to pit stop problems and Project Cars Mechanics being complete rubbish. So we'll just see Smokey come across the line, and that will complete your feature race here at Laguna Seca.
I've got to take my headphones off to the only G there because he did a 34.5 on the last lap. That's
nice.
absolutely outstanding on a damp track, a drying track. Yeah, I don't know how he's able to do that, but to be fair, they're all pretty quick at the end. But he's got half a second on his fastest lap. So
absolutely. The only G's either.
Energy drink in him now.
The only G is either superhuman or alien. We don't know which, but he is a force to be reckoned with. And as he does as I say, very quick laps there towards the end. So I'll go around the commentary box just to sum up. Andy, you jumped in with us after after things went wrong for him. Andy, any final words from you?
Yeah, a bit of a disappointing race, but well done to John Boy. G did amazing with the strategy. Just gutted that my pit crew are incapable. But
yeah, and I won't back you next time, all right?
No, please don't. Please don't.
Green Pies, any final thoughts from you this evening?
I'm just going to say we shouldn't have doubted the only G, but also quite disappointing that quite a few of the drivers, their mechanics, just decided to up and leave them.
Absolutely, and I think sometimes, we kind of bitch and moan about things going wrong on Project Cars, but what we don't have is the human element of engine failures and so on and so forth that the real motorsport world has. So kind of swings and roundabouts on those kind of things. Unlucky for a few drivers, but in the real world, luck plays a part as well. So it's kind of swings and roundabouts, I suppose, but hugely unlucky for those people. For myself, cracking night's racing as usual. Green Pie's been absolutely fantastic to commentate with you. It's been great fun. I look forward to doing it again sometime in the future. Andy, always a pleasure when you join us.
I couldn't be the joy, the bundle of joy that sometimes it can be, but
it's all right.
I think we need to have a word with whoever thought it was a smart idea to put us two in a commentary box, Kelly.
Yeah, absolutely. And just to sum up, guys, if you could subscribe to the channel, because Andy and G and Dan, they all love that. They all get really excited about it. So subscribe if you want to get involved. Motive Racing.com. Get involved if you want to follow on Facebook, Instagram, all the rest of it. Silent X Energy, our sponsor for the Clio Cups. Have a look on their website. I believe there's a discount code, is there, Andy? If you can get a discount by being a Motive.
It's gone from 10 to 15%.
Gone to 15%.
If I'm not very much mistaken, and I could be. I think it was 10%. It's now 15%. So if you guys want to go and get your Silent X Energy drinks before it goes back to 10%, head over to silentxenergy.com and use the code Motive Racing for a cheeky little discount.
There you go, absolutely perfect. So yes, you can get yourselves a discount with Silent X Energy, so give it a go. Thanks to them for sponsoring. Where do we go next? I don't even know what day it is. It's ACC tomorrow night, is it? ACC, Andy?
Yeah, GT4s on ACC, tomorrow Suzuka. Next up in the Clios is Alton Park, I think, next week. Maybe
great.
Might put my neck on the line there, I don't know. Yeah. Gee, I don't know if you're all listening to the party. If you know,
if not, Alton Park, maybe not. If it is or isn't, doesn't matter, because Clios are always good value. So join us there. Also join us Sunday night. I'll be back in the commentary box on Sunday night for the MBTCC, the Motive British Touring Car Championship on Sunday night. Some great racing with the touring cars. So join us there. But from all of us here at Motive, from Andy, Green Pies, G, everybody else, thank you ever so much for your company this evening. Thank you and good night.
Good night.
Night.
Oh man, I was so fucked up about the tyres. I just can't believe that.
I hope we're off stream.
I mean, I hope so. Like cheese in the pie.
Oh, that was great.
Oh my god.
Did your tyres not change?
No, they didn't. I went in twice as well. I went the first time, and they didn't do tyre or fuel. The second time, my fuel did, my fuel changed, and then my tyres didn't. Yeah, the first time, neither did. My fuel, normal tyres. Second time, my fuel did, but my tyres didn't. Still.
I've never heard of fuel not doing. It's weird.
That was great, Kelly.
No.
Yeah, good fun that was.
Scrap changeable conditions. Silly, stupid game.
Blame the game.
I think for like about the 5th or 6th time we've got to nip the changeable conditions in well.
Got to what? Sorry.
The changeable conditions.
Right.
We've had this problem so many times. Have it so that it's light rain all the way through, but like don't have wet to dry, because
I don't think
any race that involves a tyre change.
Yeah, I don't think you should tell anybody. I think it should be a surprise to everybody.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about.
Yeah. But that involves conspiracy type.
Oh, whatever. Conspiracy.
The coordinators know what's
do like a
happening.
go onto Google and just do like a randomizer.
Yeah, just.
Or we can just do random weather. There's literally an option to do random weather.
Well, then.
In which case, nobody knows.
Can you not? Can you have random weather of your choice, if you know what I mean, rain or dry kind of thing? You can't dial out the snow or anything.
Right, I've got to go. I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you very much for that, Kelly.
Cheers, mate. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure.
Yeah, see you guys.
Take care.
Good stuff, mate. See you later.
But yeah, you know, the whole weather thing, you know, it's just that's how real world is, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? You know, you say if you, yeah, you know, conspiracy. Yeah,
that's the thing about sim racing and what we have at Motive. Everyone knows what's happening. At Simplay, I think it's a bit different, isn't it? Because they kind of know roughly what it's going to be. Like Matt says, where he's getting the weather forecast from.
Yeah.
But you still have to go and check it yourselves. Like,
yeah,
you're not going to know exactly what weather's coming, when it's coming. You have to go and check what the weather was when he's gone and pulled it up off whatever website it is. So it kind of involves a little bit more proactivity.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
It's all kind of like spoon-fed. It's like, this is what's coming, this is when it's coming, blah blah blah.
Yeah. Well, horses for courses, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? And you know, if we all look the same, you know, and all that kind of thing, isn't it? You know, so
we've all got our own different set of skills, which work in different ways and for different purposes, I guess. So
I got fucked over again.
Tyres?
Dan, I've got the same thing, mate. Same thing. Tyres. Mine didn't change either. Twice.
Bollocks.
The second time for you it changed, but for me it fucking didn't do it twice.
I was
second
winning.
time I even checked everything.
I was fucking leading. I did everything right. I checked everything. I even came into the pits. I was like, right, select, assign it, done. Came into the pits, didn't change. I was like, gee, this is fucking ridiculous now.
We're scrapping.
I said at midpoint in the race, I was like, this is just changeable conditions. Oh, sorry.
Oh, one of those. Or one of those. Has everybody left the party now, or what?
No, Dan's just gone into game chat. I think G's in game chat as well.
Alright, okay.
You're still not in the lobby anymore, are you?
No, I'm not. No, I'm randomly looking at cars.
Oh, what, actual cars or?
No, on project cars, but I'm just flicking through the cars and just getting the horn about how I actually, in the real world, quite fancy a BMW 1 Series Coupe. And I've had that fancy. Dreams. I just had that fancy for ages, and I'm just looking at one thinking I could really fancy one of them.
Depends how much you're willing to fork out, I suppose, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd have to part with something else. Do you know what I mean? I'd have to get rid of one of my other vehicles to do that. So yeah, and there's nothing I really want to get rid of right now. So I can't. Do you know what I mean?
Happy with what you got?
What have I got?
No, you're happy with what you got.
I'm happy with what I got. Yeah, and I think 4 is probably enough. Well, 5 actually is enough, isn't it? So you know,
5 cars.
Got 5 cars. Yeah.
Jeez, what are they? What's the best one?
What's the best one? The van. Yeah, I got 2 vans. I got a T5.
Oh, you said are they what? Japanese vans or something?
Japanese, Honda. No, Volkswagens, my friend, Volkswagens.
Oh, right, okay.
Japanese. Did you do that just to wind me up, or what?
No. I remember you saying didn't you hate the Hondas and stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm not a Honda fan. Yeah, I'm not. Not a fan of Hondas. I got a T4 and a T5. The T5 is a work van, although it's on big 20-inch wheels and this and that and whatever. And then I've got T4, which is like a camper van. And then I've got a Seat Leon Cupra, running 300 horsepower, and then I've got 2 Mark II Golf GTIs, a 1990.
Why do you have 2?
2? Well, it's better than having 1.
Well, yeah, I suppose so. Yeah, you can share it around, can't you?
Yeah, the 1990 is.
You know what you and Dan need to do? You need to put matching prolapse liveries on both of them, and then just drive around together. And then when motive racing do a meet-up, just turn up like in formation next to each other.
Do you really think that I'm going to put a gay rainbow on the side of my actual car? No way. No way. The Golf's...
It's less embarrassing when it's ironic, isn't it? As soon as it becomes serious, that's kind of shameful.
That's. I've got. I don't know how much you know, but I've got an events company as well as my normal company, right? And we're setting up events for the tail end of this year, and we're doing a whole load of stuff. But we're doing a gay and mixed whatever. Gay night, basically.
LGBT or something, isn't it?
Yeah. I can never remember what the letters are in all the right order. But we're doing one of those, and we partner with another events company, and they've done all the design, and it's called Prism the Night, right? And
and all the Prism near me as well.
Sorry.
Yeah. There's a club called Prism near me. Yeah.
And they've done all the design work is all rainbow stuff, and I'm like, oh, it's prolapse, look. They're like, what? What are you talking about? So
you got your blokes who I met over the internet. Yeah, you those guys from Motive.
These guys are like, what the fuck are you talking about? You know what I mean? But just kind of like, oh, prolapse, but I'm not putting any rainbows on the side of my cars. So
just
no way. Yes, indeed. Well, I'm hoping that I might meet some of them throughout the year. I certainly think. Well, I'm going to meet Matt Duffin. He's going to the British Grand Prix, and we're going to the British Grand Prix, and he's doing.
He's doing a Donny as well, isn't he?
Yeah, he's doing Donny, and we're doing Donny as well. I got tickets for me, the missus, and Dan for Donny. So yeah, and I think some of the prolapse boys are talking about going to Donny as well. So
hopefully the British Grand Prix it'll be like a full out proper thing, because it's going to suck if there's all this COVID sort of precautions there. I know they're going to open it to fans. Like if you got tickets, they'll open up, but it's going to be a bit shit if there's like no mingling and stuff. It's like everybody kind of like has to find their own space. Did you get general admission or grandstand?
Grandstand. I did general admission many years ago, and it was complete bollocks. I saw. I'd go home and watch the race again because I didn't know what the fuck happened. Because I just couldn't. I did it.
You have to get up proper early. You have to get down there at like 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. You have to get the deck chairs out. Literally just sit there, not move. And just sit on your deck chairs and wait. And you have to have at least one person waiting on the deck chairs just to hold your space. It's so long.
Well, we did it many years ago. I mean, fucking Daniel was young, like fucking 8 or 9 or something like that. Do you know what I mean? It was the year Montoya won it from lights to flag. It was a fucking. Yeah, it was a crap race. Do you know what I mean? I mean, boring. Do you know what I mean? No action whatsoever. But we were on a package deal. We're like on a coach deal. So they took us from the hotel. We saw quali, and then they took us back to hotel overnight, and then they brought us back in the morning. We didn't get to the circuit till nearly 8 o'clock. Right in the morning, and turn 1, it was the old configuration with the old pit lane and whatever, and turn 1 was just absolutely rammed with people who'd been there, as you said, from like 5 in the morning to get their spaces. We had to walk past turn 1. We were just on the bitter straight before you get into Maggots and Beckett's, right? So
you're right up by Maggots.
Yeah, almost just like almost up by Maggots, just up from where the old pit lane exit was. And by the time all the people had filed in, I mean, we were sat on, a bit of fence in front of us, and we were sat on the floor, but by the time everyone got in and the Grand Prix started, you couldn't see more than about a width of about 6 foot in front of you, because there was just too many people. It was like 8, 9 deep behind us.
You just have to try and get a glimpse of the TV screens, don't you? But it's hard.
I ended up listening to Silverstone Radio on my like Walkman or whatever it was, right? And watching the big screen to try and watch the race. And then when we got home Sunday night, I'd recorded the race, so I watched it again because I had no real idea what the fuck was going on, like, you know? So, and there was this guy stood next to me, I'll never forget it, right? He was a Ferrari fan, and I got nothing against Ferrari, I like Ferrari, right? But this guy, I shit you not, every single fucking lap, he's cheered for the Ferrari when it went past, right? Every lap, regardless, you know, both Ferraris, what would it have been? Schumacher, might have been Barrichello at that point, but every time they went past, he went, yay! Like that. Every fucking lap.
Yeah.
Twice a lap, every lap, for 50 fucking laps he did that.
And he said that, though, when you're the Brits, when you're at home and you've got someone like Hamilton, because I've been to the British Grand Prix twice, and both times it was when Hamilton won. Like, it's the first time he won, and one of the other times he's won. I mean, he won it first time, and then it was years and years and years, and then he won it a load of times in a row.
Yeah.
But, like, it's the first time he ever won it.
It was in the wet, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was in the wet. It was when he passed Kovalainen early laps. He went from 4th to 2nd first corner, passed Kovalainen 5 laps in, drove off one by over a minute. And every lap, you know, right to the end of the race, it was literally just everyone just jumping up and down every time he went past. You always knew when it was Hamilton going past.
Yeah.
You know, it was, I mean, it gets a bit repetitive after a while, you know. It's
But like that, you know, a whole group of people doing the same thing, enthusiastic about it. But this was one guy who was like stood next to us, do you know what I mean? And as I said, the race I was at was drab. So, do you know what I mean? If Schumacher was in third, he was in third the whole bloody race, do you know what I mean? You know? And nothing changed, but every single lap, without fail, as soon as he saw the Ferrari, he would like go, yeah, like that, you know, and like punch the air every time. Oh, mate, by the end of it, I felt like punching him right in the air. You know? Yeah,
I know how you feel like that, because some people, it's constantly getting overexcited about something it doesn't even, it's not even like he's in a position where he's fighting for anything. It's just getting behind him for the sake of it, just showing that, oh, look at me, I'm a fucking Ferrari fan. That's all it is. He's just trying to.
And as I remember,
I bet you, if everyone around him, or if there were more than just him around him jumping up and down, he wouldn't give a fuck. It's only because he's the only one doing it. He just wants to set everybody else up. He wants to stand out. Some people just like that.
As I remember, he was in full Ferrari kit as well, like Ferrari shirt, Ferrari hat. Do you know what I mean? The lot, like, you know, and yeah. Well, be just my fucking luck. I'll go again this year, and he'll be sat next to us. Oh dear, never mind. Right, Andy, I'm going to bail.
Yeah, I was going to. I don't think these guys are still sat in their bloody lobby chat with John Boy. I don't know what they're on about. But
no idea.
I better jump in and see what they're up to.
All right, mate.
I'll catch you on Thursday. Well, I won't talk to you, but I'll probably hear you on Thursday. See you on Sunday.
No, you won't hear me Thursday.
Is it? Of course, it's off season, isn't it? Forgot.
Yeah, it's off season, and they're doing Formula One, aren't they? I haven't got Formula One, so
they're doing F1 tomorrow, which I'm not. I'm in our leagues on ACC for that one. But then Thursday they're doing ACC, which I'm racing in there as well. So
right, yeah. Well, I haven't got ACC, and I'm having a couple of weeks off because I've got some work commitments I've got to catch up on. So while we're on off season, then I'm off. So, but I'll speak to you or see you or commentate or ruin your race Sunday night.
Yeah, if I'm there, if I'm around. Hopefully I will be.
All right, mate. You take care of yourself.
You too. See you in a bit.
Right on. Cheers.
Bye.